Hello, very good afternoon, everyone. Please do confirm once that you can see me, you can hear me, as well as you can see this presentation slides. Please do confirm once. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so this is the second last session from my side. Okay, the last session will be on Tuesday. Okay, this upcoming Tuesday, what will be the date? I'll just tell you, 14th of April. Okay, this one is the second last session. Okay. Here I will summarize all the 12 weeks content. Okay. So please try to be very, very careful. Take a notebook and pen with you all and try to note down some of the important points. Okay. If you find it relevant, then please feel free to note them down. Okay. And rest I'll tell you a lot of information. Okay. Try to jot down it. Okay. We should just start. Yeah. We shall just start, and if you are having any doubts in between also, okay, you can unmute. Let me just see whether you can unmute yourself. Just once again. Yeah, you can unmute yourself. Okay. You can unmute yourself. You can tell me, okay, if you are having any doubt anywhere. Okay. And do ask your all relevant doubts. And one thing I'd like to clarify, I think we can see my screen entirely. See here, somebody has mailed me regarding this request. Okay, you are requesting me to just give access to the Google Colab notebook, which I will not do. Otherwise, each and every student will edit. Okay, and the original thing will be destroyed in seconds. Okay, so I'll walk you through this particular folder. What you have to do. Just one second. See, this one is your folder. Okay, it is having the notebook. So this one is your week one. From here, this one is the notebook, IPYNB notebook. You just click here. Okay. I hope you can see me entirely. You just click here, then click in here in three dots, more, and download it. After downloading, okay, type here Colab, go to Google Colab, here upload, and browse the location where you have downloaded the notebook. Okay. This is the standard procedure which you have to follow. And now you can edit any number of times because the edits will be restricted to you only, okay, not to each and every student. Okay. So I want to keep the original copy so that the original copy is available to each and every student. That is why I cannot provide you edit access. Otherwise, you will edit the entire PDFs. Okay. Edit access cannot be just given to one file. It has to be given to the entire folder. Okay. Or if I give to the file itself, no problem. But what will happen then? Everyone will edit. Okay. The original copy will be destroyed. You all in general will face the problem. That is why I'm not giving the edit access. You have to download. Then in your local copy, you make any number of edits which is possible. Okay. So that is the okay. So don't ask me this share request or edit request. Just download it. Okay. After downloading, you do any number of targets. Okay, that is the thing which I want to tell you all. Okay, regarding this, regarding the content of this particular folder. Yes, please go ahead. Yeah, anything? Sir, are the assignments enough? Yeah, the assignments, the video lectures which we have provided. Okay, they will suffice mostly, which I can see. Okay. And with those, you have to just practice some of the questions. Okay. Try to practice as much as possible. Try to go through the PDF which I am providing, at least go through that. Okay. I've also solved the questions through many ways which are possible. Okay. Go through those, go through the notes of other TA also, okay, if it is possible. But first of all, go through the video lectures. Okay. Go through the video lectures, build a base first for solving the assignment questions. Okay. After you are able to solve each and everything, you can go and sit in the examination. Whatever the good questions you will be having, you will be able to answer those. Yes, that is the thing. Okay. Please write it completely, or you can unmute and ask the doubt. Okay. Let me just start. Okay. In brief, I'll tell you the content which I have covered. Okay. Please, sir, how to we get the PDF given by you? Okay, I'll tell you. No problem. I've just provided you the link for your own Google Sheet. Okay, there is no issue in that. Just copy this link and paste it somewhere safe. That is the first step. Okay, just open this particular link. See, after opening, you will get the YouTube links for all the recordings. Okay, for all the lectures which I have taken from week 1 to week 11 or 12, whatever they are. After this session is over, I'll place the recording of this session also. Okay. In the folder itself. In this particular Google Sheet itself, I'll keep the link. Okay. Now the thing which you have to do that how to get the PDF. Just visit this particular drive link. Okay. You will not be having edit access. Please remember, you will be having only viewer access because everyone will edit, then nothing will be left. That I know from my experience. Okay. So just go through that. Okay, whatever week's content you want to do, you want to visit, just click on that. Everything whichever I have shared, here it is. Okay. Python file is there, IPYNB file is there. If you are using Visual Studio Code for Python, go with this PY file. If you are using Colab, just like me, go for IPYNB file. Okay. And this is some extra content, either it is some research paper which I want you to read or any other content I have provided. Okay, just go through this, double click this particular PDF, you will find the entire PDF. This is this procedure. Okay. Just keep this link somewhere safe. Okay, that is okay. Now let me just quickly start. Okay, keep on raising your doubts. Okay, whatever things you wanted me to answer. Okay, keep on asking them. Okay, because this is almost the end of our journey. So, very good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ambuj. I am research scholar at Agriculture and Food Engineering Department. I'll be taking your this extra summary session for the course Data Analytics with Python. This course is taught by Professor A. Ramesh from IIT Roorkee. Okay, I'll be summarizing all of the content. Okay, which is there with you all. Okay, some content I'll try to summarize. Okay, which you must have seen in our all 12 weeks. Okay. Let me just quickly revisit some of the content. Okay. And keep on asking your doubts. There is no problem. You can unmute yourself. You can type in the message box. Okay. But keep on asking your doubts. Clarify each and everything. This is the second last session. Last session will be taken on 14th of April. Okay. Tuesday. After that, you have to appear for the examination. So take a notebook and paper, handy, everything. Try to make the notes. Okay. Let us begin with this particular spirit. First of all, what is data analytics? Data analytics with Python. It focuses on Python programming. Mainly, this course particularly dealt with the Python programming only. Okay. What is the purpose which we just have fulfilled? We have collected the data, we have cleaned the data, we have analyzed the data, visualized the data, interpreted the data for informed decision making. That is the purpose which we have fulfilled. Okay. This is the purpose which you would be fulfilling as a data scientist, as a software developer, as a software engineer, as a data analytics engineer in any of the IT companies. Okay. First of all, you have to collect the data, to clean the data, you have to analyze the data, you have to visualize the data, you have to interpret the data, and you have to make the decisions. Decision making. What does a decision making involve? Decision making involves telling the properties. Okay, some of the properties are there which are involved with the data. Okay, like if it is a sales data, in which direction the sales is going. Okay, whether it is going in upward direction, it is going in downward direction, it is fluctuating like this. Okay. Analyzing the trend, that is the basic purpose we fulfilled, and on the basis of the analyzing part means analysis, on the basis of analysis, the decision making will be informed. Okay, informed means it will be backed upon by some statistics. Okay, if there is a company, okay, suppose the name of the company is A, it brought out three products, suppose P1, P2, and P3. These are the three products which it brought out. Okay. And P1 product sales, it was consistent. Okay. With respect to the months, it was consistent. Means it was like this. It went on to say, suppose X number of units, then it was 2x, then it was again 1.5x. Okay. And then in the next month also it was X. So it is the trend is like this. Suppose there is a another product P2 which is having decreasing number of sales with respect to years, okay, or months passing by. The trend was like this. There is another product P3, okay, which is having trend like this. The trend of the sales, that is what I am talking about. Trend of the sales is like this. Okay, it was increasing and then it decreased. Okay, out of these three products, you have analyzed the trend for say suppose 6 months for each and every product. Okay, for 6 months, we have analyzed the data of the sales of products P1, P2, and P3, and the manufacturing units are also involved. Okay, without manufacturing units, P1, P2, P3 won't be uh, existing. So the suppose the manufacturing units are M1, M2, and M3. These three are the manufacturing units of these particular products P1, P2, and P3. Okay. Now, one particular question is there. You have analyzed the trend, you have seen the sales data, you have made the plots using various libraries. Okay. SciPy, Matplotlib, you have analyzed the trend. You have forecasted the trend also. Okay. Somewhat forecasting you would be able to do. Okay. With the help of the time series data which we have made. Okay. So if you have gone through this particular process, then now what is the meaning of informed decision making? As a data scientist engineer, you would be asked that suppose in previous month we have made the sales of we have made the manufacturing means manufacturing we have manufactured 100 products of P1, 150 products of P2, and 200 products of P3. Suppose we have manufactured through these particular manufacturing units M1 and M2 and M3. Both would be having different machines, different raw materials, different supply chain, different line. Okay, different supply line. So the raw material in advance has to be procured in order to fulfill the demand of the products. That is why we are just analyzing the data and telling in advance how many units of M1, M2, and M3 we should produce for say suppose these data have been analyzed in this month, suppose April. Okay. Now, in which capacity, to which capacity the manufacturing units M1, M2, and M3 shall function. Okay. To which manufacturing capacity? Manufacturing capacity means what is the exact percentage? Okay. Means suppose the units P1, P2, and P3 are able to manufacture thousand number of goods every month. Okay. But you are producing only 100, 150, and 200 products because the demand side was like this. So now you tell me that at which capacity you should operate your manufacturing units M1, M2, and M3 based on these three trends. Trend number one of product number P1, trend number two of product number P2, trend number three of product number P3. What shall be the exact percentage? Okay. How many number of goods of M1, M2, and M3 you shall produce? Do try to answer. This is a very simple data analytics scope question. There is no negative marking as far as I know. There is only positive marking. Okay. But read the instructions mentioned in the question paper. Okay. What type of question will be asked in the exam that I don't know. I am just the PMRFTA. I have to clear your doubts. There is a separate set of TAs which handle the question paper making, assignment making, ask them in the Google Group. How you can reach to them? See here, you are receiving the mail, right? Go to any of these three links, this Google group discussion. Okay. Here, please write to them that I want to know the examination pattern. If they are in a position to disclose it, they will be disclosing it. My job is just to clear your doubts. Okay. Not to make the assignments, not to check your assignments, as well as not to make the question paper and not to check your assignments. My job is just to clear all your doubts as well as discuss some of the questions which may be asked in the examination based on the based on the video content which we are releasing week wise. Yeah, any answers from your side to the question which I asked? Nearly 20 students have joined. Try to answer because if you would be analyzing any of the trend here, then you would be able to answer such kind of questions in the examination. Find the maxima of the equation. Find the maxima of the equation. Okay. Suppose maxima of this particular curve is like this. Maxima of this particular curve is like this. Maxima of this particular curve is like this. Suppose it is x1, it is y1, it is z1. Or let me simplify it, no problem. You must be having the habit of writing x and y in particular. So this, if this is my x-axis, suppose this is y1, this is y2, and this is y3. Now, what you will do with y1, y2, and y3? Explain. Yes, any of the student wants to give your his or her opinion at what capacity we should operate the manufacturing units M1, M2, and M3 if we have been given the data previous weeks, previous month's sale we have been given. 100 products of P1 have been sold, 150 of P2 and 200 of P3 have been sold. Now, at which percentage we should operate M1, M2, and M3? What should be the procedure? How to decide how many number of products or at which percentage occupancy rate? Sometimes this term will be used in the examination. We should be operating the units from population proportion. Okay, population proportion means 1000 is the maximum capacity which the units can produce. Means M1 can produce 1000 number of goods, number of products of type P1, 1000 of P2, 1000 of P3. So how will you decide? Based on previous week's sale and the trend data which you have been given. Previous month's sale of product P1 has been given 100. P2 has been given 150. P3 has been given 200. Trend is with you. Trend is here. Like this, and like this. Trend is there. Okay. What shall be the correct approach? Anybody? Yes, anybody? You can unmute yourself. There is no need to feel shy or any hesitancy. You can unmute. This is probably the second last session. After this, you won't be having the chance to communicate with me. Okay, so utilize it to the maximum potential. Ask your doubts. Otherwise, tell me what I am asking. Anybody, if he or she wants to interact, please go on. No idea. Many of the people I can see they have attended almost all the sessions. Let me check on the list. Yeah, some of the repeated names and new names are there. Had it been an offline class, you would have seen a different me. I would have just got you there itself. Finding cost of production, okay. You will find the cost of production, but here the factors, in the factors I have given you the sales trend, okay. I have given you the sales trend, the production capacity, and I am asking that what shall be the percentage of production percentage of operation of the machines, percentage in which capacity you should produce the number of goods, or you have to operate the machine M1, M2, and M3. The maximum capacity is 1000. In the previous month, in suppose April month, 100 units of P1 were sold, 150 units of P2 were sold, 200 units of P3 was sold. The trend of the sales of products P1, P2, and P3 is here in this particular graph. One graph, second graph, third graph. Yes, I am continuously repeating the question. Please. Okay, I will repeat once again. But please open your ears, keep your volume to the maximum. Okay, and if you are unable to listen, then please tell me, I'll repeat. No problem. See, we are having an industry. Can you share the question in chat box? No, I cannot share in the question in the chat box. I have to write a lot of things. Please listen to me. You are having any problem in listening to me? Then please tell me. I'll write it down. Okay. If you are not having any problem in listening to me, then please listen. I'll speak more slowly. Okay. There is no problem. I can reduce my speed. I can increase my speed based on your feedback. So be try to be more participative. Okay. That helps me a lot. If it is was an offline session, I would have looked at each of your faces and would have judged that what shall I do with you. But since it is an online session, I am not face to face in communication with you. And this has been through all the weeks. I am assuming that you are 100% understanding. Okay. But I don't know. Okay. So if you are having any doubt at any point of time, please unmute. Okay. Unmute yourself, ask me any number of times. Okay. There would be no problem. Listen to the question once again. There is a manufacturing unit named A. Okay. A is the name of an industry. Okay. It is having three number of products. First product is P1, second product is P2, third product is P3. Okay. The trend analysis of the sales of product P1, P2, and P3 has been carried out for last 6 months. Okay. The analysis graph is like this. For product P1, okay, the sales data is like this. It is going in upward direction. Then it is somewhat like this. Okay. The sales data of product P2 for last 6 months is like this. Okay. The sales data of product P3 is like this. Okay. Product P1 is having sales data like this. P2 is having sales data like this. And P3 is having sales data like this for last 3 months, for last 6 months. Okay. 6 months data I have the trend I have provided to you. Okay. For the last month means for the April month, 100 units of P1 were produced, 150 units of P2 were sold. Sorry for mistake. 100 units of P1 were sold. 150 number of units of P2 were sold. 200 number of units of P3 were sold. Okay, that is the sales data. And this is the sales report which I have given to you for products P1, P2, and P3. Okay. Now, P1, P2, and P3 are manufactured through three machines. First, name of first machine is M1, name of second machine is M2, name of third machine is M3. Okay, M1, M2, and M3. The maximum capacity of each of these machines to produce the respective products are P1, P2, P3 is 1000. Means 1000 units of P1, M1 can produce 1000 units of P2, M2 can produce 1000 units of M3. This 1000 units of P3, M3 can produce. Now I am asking you that how you will proceed for calculating the percentage. Okay, percentage of the industrial production means how many number of goods of the type P1 and P2 and P3 you shall be producing for upcoming month. Let us say the upcoming month is May. For past 6 months, the data has been provided to you. For last month, that is the April month, the sales data has been given to you in numbers. Okay. Otherwise, you can see it from here itself. It will be same value. Means here the value would be somewhat 100 only. 100, then the last month means this particular value that would be 150 here. Okay. And this particular value would be 200. Now, my question is for calculating the number of goods for which the company A shall produce of type M1, M2, and M3. What shall be your procedure? That I want to ask. Because here it is written data analytics with Python focuses on Python programming to collect, clean, analyze, visualize, and interpret data for informed decision making. Informed decision making is like this only. Based on the previous week's sales data, previous 6 months sales data, you shall be analyzing the data and telling me that how, what shall be the engagement. Yeah. So Hema is saying P1 shall be produced at 10%. P2 shall be produced at 15%. P3 shall be produced at 20%. Very good. She has calculated 100 divided by 1000 multiplied by 100. That is what she has done. If I am correct. Means 100 products were sold, 150 products of P2 were sold in the previous month, and 200 products of P3 were sold. So she is assuming, okay, Hema is assuming, there is one student Hema among us, okay, she is assuming that there will be a linear forecast or linear trend. Okay, she is assuming that there will be a linear trend. Is linear trend means whatever which shall be the sales percentage of product P1, P2, and P3 in the previous month. In the previous month shall be continue for the next month. Okay, that is what Hema is assuming. That is why she is saying that you have to produce 100 number of units. 10 percentage of 1000 would be how much? 100 only. Okay. 100 units of product P1, 150 units of product P2, and 150 units of product P1, P2, and 200 units of product P3. 10 percentage of 1000. 1000 is maximum production capacity. 10% of 1000 is 100. 15% of 1000 is 150. 20% of the 1000, that is the maximum production capacity, is 200. So she is assuming that my production capacity for the month of May shall be equal to the my sales volume, not the production capacity. My sales volume for the upcoming month, that is May, shall be same as the previous month's sales volume. That is your sales in the month of May, month of April. Okay. In the month of April, 100 units of P1 were sold. 150 units of P2 were sold, 200 units of P3 were sold. So she assumed that there will be a linear trend in the sales volume, and in the month of May, same number of products of type P1, P2, and P3 shall be sold. Okay. So based on that, she is assuming a linear forecast, and she is telling that go for the production capacity same, the same production capacity. That is indeed a good approach. Okay, I can say it is good approach. At least she has given her opinion. Okay, she has given her opinion, and she is assuming that there would be linear forecast, there would be no fluctuation. That is why we can go for the same production capacity. There is no problem with that. Okay, let's go. But my dears, there is one catch here. Okay, the trend has also been given to you for the last 6 months. Okay, so informed decision making without the looking at the data of the previous month. Okay, just looking at the data of the previous month. Okay, informed decision making won't be that just looking the sales data of the previous month and assuming that the sales data for the next month will be same. Okay, you have to do informed decision making with the help of Python programming, which we have learned in this particular course. Okay. So I am telling you what shall you do for the companies? What shall be the practical approach which you would follow when you will get employment? Okay. When you will get a job in data analytics company, then how will you approach? Okay, listen carefully. You have been given the data, trend data. So either you can analyze the data in here itself. Okay, here itself you would be analyzing, that will give you a good approach. Okay, that would be a good approach itself. Otherwise, what you can do, what I told you, first of all, collect the data. Okay, generally don't go for visual processing, means visual data. If it is there, if it, the chart has been given to you, then how will you analyze the chart? It would be somewhat more difficult. Okay, analyzing the data from the table perspective, means numerical perspective, is somewhat easier. Always in Colab, when we have ran the code, we have imported the data in the form of a CSV file. Then we have analyzed it. You must have seen me throughout these all the sessions. CSV file means the data is stored in the form of rows and columns. Okay, so entire thing would be in the form of rows and columns. Okay, that particular data I have analyzed for you. Okay, various data sets, standard IRS data set I have taken, and housing sales data set I have analyzed, and all of the other data sets which are there, open access data set. We have tried to analyze them. Okay. So please do remember, right? Analyzing the data from CSV files is much more easier. So what we'll do, we will convert this particular chart, first of all, into a CSV file. Means it should have two particular columns. Month, then sales. These two particular columns I will make. And for each of the respective months, okay, each of the respective months, what I will do, I will write down the sales. Okay, I deduce the data from the chart itself. Okay, then I will be having number of three number of tables. Okay, three number of CSV files or the tables, CSV files or the tables. I'll be having them for each of the products P1 and P2 and P3. Based on the data of 6 months, now I will make a forecast. How I will forecast? I'll fit a linear regression model or multiple linear regression model, MLR. Okay. Or I can fit a Gaussian regression model. Okay. Or I can fit a random forest model. I can fit Gaussian progression regression model or any of the machine learning models or any of the linear regression plots or models. Then I will forecast what shall be the sales of product P1, P2 and P3. Okay. First of all, I'll make the model, then I'll analyze the model for the highest value of coefficient of determination R square and the least value of the errors, that may be root mean square error, mean absolute error, percentage error, mean absolute percentage error. All the errors I'll calculate. Okay, least error and highest coefficient of determination shall be the criteria for selection of the model. And suppose in this particular case, random forest is giving me the highest value of coefficient of determination, least number of errors. Okay. Then, this thing happened. Okay. After that, what will happen? After that, I'll fit a model. Okay, fit that particular model and try to forecast the sales of products P1, P2, and P3 for the month May. And whatever shall be the forecast. Suppose for P1, I got the forecast as 175. For P2, I got the forecast as 115. And for P3, I got 150. Suppose I got these numbers. Directly, I communicate with my company A, which sell direct the manufacturing units M1, M2, and M3 to produce 175 goods of type P1, 115 goods of product P2, and 150 goods of type P3. Okay. But I'll keep some margin also, 10%, 15% margin. Okay. Because I'm expecting this much number of hike in the sale of product P1, P2, and P3 from the last 6 months later. Okay. So this entire thing was the sum of the entire course data analytics requirement. With this particular thing, I in itself here I have summarized the entire course in brief. If you understood all the aspects of this particular example, then you have carried out your job well. Means you have understood the course data analytics in Python, and you shall be very well satisfied with the performance of all the models. That is it. Now, Bhavna Shah is saying that calculate through the least square method. Yes. For categorical data, it shall be one of the choice. It depends on you how informed decision making you will do. What are your requirements in the company itself? You shall be told that what is the acceptable error rate, what shall be the acceptable uh, percentage, okay, of the error margin which the company is expecting. Based on that, we will be analyzing the data, and you shall be telling the exact procedure. We should be following the exact procedure or the model which will give the highest coefficient of determination with least error. Okay, that shall be a criteria. So these 12 assignments are enough for preparing for our exam. Yes, they are sufficient. Along with the assignments you have submitted, you shall be in a position to recall them. Solutions already have been released. Go through all the assignments, see through it, okay, and look forward at what mistakes you have made. Okay, don't commit the same mistake, okay, repeatedly. So walk through entire 12 assignments which you have submitted previously. Okay. Then see the assignments which I have solved. I have solved similar assignments. Okay. These were assignments of the previous year only for this particular course, as well as some of the questions I have incorporated on myself also. So this is a niche type of content. PDF already has been given to me. This, along with the video lectures, that shall be sufficient. Video lectures which have been taught by Professor A. Ramesh. The way he is teaching, go through all of that content, that shall be more than sufficient. Please, can you show us with Jupyter Notebook? Run the code. It will be more helpful for us. Okay. Sir, we can take decision while seeing the trends of past 6 months. Yes, you can take the decision while seeing the trends of past 6 months. That is absolutely correct. Okay. Simple procedure for running the Jupyter notebook or the notebook which I have provided to you is there. Okay. Suppose you go to this particular week, any of the week's content. Okay. Suppose it is week 2. Here I have provided you this content, okay, IPYNB file. I am just downloading it here. Now it is stored in my downloads. I have gone to Google, typed here collab, then this page I have clicked, then from here upload. I'll browse the location of the folder where I have saved this particular collab notebook. Okay. First of all, upload, then browse. Okay. Then, since I already have made this notebook, I'll make a copy of that. So there is no conflict while saving. Go to runtime, click run now. That's it. The job is done. Okay. Whatever permissions is it is asking, I'm just saying it yes. It will automatically run. That will be perfect. Each and every cell will be executed where it's if some data is missing, suppose you are not having the CSV file, Pokemon.csv, okay, I'll here itself give it to you. It's a great idea to give all the files. But if it is not there, then no problem. Download any of the open access CSVs. There are a lot of data sets on Kaggle, on GitHub, on Git. Download any of the open access data sets. This Pokemon.csv, I'll give you in this particular folder. So you won't be having any problem. Just you have to upload it in the drive. That's it. Just change this link. Okay, this particular link, this content.drive to. You can even upload any of the CSV files. You can generate any CSV file. Okay. Or you can take any of our CSV files which are open access. Take those, just put it in your drive, browse through this location. It will do automatically. So there is no problem perhaps. This was an link to. I shall just upload this Pokemon.csv is already in the drive folder. So my job is complete. Okay, from my side, I have provided you the notebook, told you how to run it. I have run all the cells in front of you, demonstrated how you can do it. So now your job starts. Go through the content, how I'm making the plots. This you have to just see. What does the plots exactly mean? Everything I have written away. Go through it. That's it. Where I was at this particular place. So this is in summary what the content I wanted to share with you. Yeah, that's it. So when you run the code in Jupyter Notebook, all output comes in the bottom. Okay. If it comes in the bottom, well itself see the output of all the cells. Okay. But if you want it to just if you want it to just run in the way I have ran it, you can use Colab. It's a free tool from Google. Okay. Go to Google, type Colab, okay. Then go through this link, then go to upload, then browse the location, then run all the cells. It will come cells. Sir, please explain mount and how to upload CSV files. CSV file already I have given to you. Okay. This here it was Pokemon.csv, right? Just download it, go to your drive, okay. Whatever drive you are having. Okay. In this particular drive, just upload from here. Okay. File upload. This just upload this Pokemon CSV file. Okay. When you will be uploading it, what will happen? It will appear here. Okay. Now, when you will be running it cell wise, okay. Suppose I ran this cell, it is ran. Okay. Suppose I ran this particular cell. Okay. From google.colab import drive.mount content drive means slash content slash drive means entire content of the drive will be mounted. So drive you have mounted, I have given you the first you will be running. I'll disconnect, then it will be clear to me. First of all, you have to go to runtime, then run all, or you can run it cellwise also. There is no problem. I have used it multiple number of times, and I'm pretty confident that that is why I'm using run all. Otherwise, you can do it cell wise, no problem. Now it is asking me connect to Google Drive. First of all, I'll provide it access. Okay. Sign in, then continue. Then continue. Now content is mounted. Okay. This cell has ran. This cell is ran. Okay. Now, if I want to write here, I want to analyze one particular file. So you'll write it down df equal to pd dot read underscore csv. Okay. Then I am writing the link of this particular file. Where will I get this link? I'll go here, files. Okay. Then see here, drive is mounted. I'll go through this drop down. Then my drive, it will appear here. Then see here, Pokemon.csv was there. So I'll just click to this particular three dots. Go to this particular three dots. Then there is a copy path. So I'll copy this particular path. Okay. I'll copy this path. Then I'll paste it and I'll write it like this. df equal to ed dot read underscore cs csc. Then I'll put a bracket. Then I'll write the that part. Yeah, okay. That is what. That is how I have written this particular. That is. Okay. So this is how you will run the CSV file. How output will come cell-wise? See, cell-wise, I am running in Google Colab. In Jupyter Notebook, also if you will be running the uh, you will be connecting to a terminal. If you have installed Anaconda, through that you will be running Jupyter notebook. In Jupyter notebook, same facility is there. Just you have to provide the file name. It would be having the address of your local PC. C disk, then C slash something desktop slash something, that shall be the path. So path will be changed. That would be the only difference. Then you have to run it cellwise. If you would be running it cellwise, like I am doing here, so output would be coming cellwise only. Right? Absolutely don't have idea that how you are getting all the outputs at the end. Because as far as my knowledge, if you install the Jupyter Notebook correctly from Anaconda, it shall be coming cell-wise only. Either you would be running all at once or single cell, one at a time. In this particular setup which I am using, I don't have Anaconda and Colab installed. Anaconda and Jupyter Notebook installed. Otherwise, I would have shown it. So please use the Anaconda along with Anaconda. Try to install the Jupyter Notebook and run it. It will come server. Rest, go to Google, then type Colab, then just write down the try to run all the cells. So it will be coming cell ones. I have prepared 40 slides, and after 1 hour, I am stuck to my slide number 2. So let me just increase the pace. I'll try to summarize the content also. Okay. That was the primary task from this particular session. But don't worry, clarify your doubts. That is more than important. Okay. After this second last session as well as the last session, you won't be having the opportunity to approach me. Otherwise, you can approach me through mail. Already provided you the mail ID. You can approach me through that mail ID. And you can, yeah. Now, this course was intended for practical foundation in data handling, statistical analysis, visualization of the data, machine learning basics, real world analytics, workflows. Course was important because data is generated everywhere nowadays. Sensors, IoT sensors, wearable sensors, they generate tons of data. Data has to be analyzed. Organizations, mainly professional organizations, corporates, they rely on the analytics for decisions, and Python is one of the most favorite tool as well as the most powerful tool for data science as well as data analytics. Okay. Course objectives were these: understanding the fundamentals of data analytics using Python for data manipulation, performing statistical analysis, exploratory data analysis has to be carried out, visualize the data effectively, efficiently, applying the machine learning techniques for prediction, for classification, and interpreting the analytics data for practical applications. What is data analytics? Data analytics process of examining the raw data to extract meaningful insights, patterns, and trends. Insights have to be gathered, patterns have to be gathered, trends have to be analyzed. Main goals were to discover the hidden patterns, support the decision making process, predicting the future outcomes, improving the efficiency and performance of the organization. All of this part we have covered in a good example which I have given to you. If you have listened to that particular example, you won't be having any of the difficulty of understanding what is data analytics, as well as how you will perform the data analytics task on any of the data which has to be, which is indeed provided to you in form of a CSV profile, in form of a chart. Okay, chart can be XY scatter plot, it can be histogram, it can be any cumulative histogram, it can be bar graph, or it can be any of the trend analysis charts. Okay. How you will perform the data analytics that we have just seen. Okay. Application is in there in healthcare, in agriculture, in finance, in education, in manufacturing. e-commerce as well as everywhere. Because data is the new gold. Okay, data is the new gold that is currently being analyzed and it is being exploited to the maximum, to the maximum, okay, to make the process efficiency optimum. We have to maximize or optimize the efficiency of the process, industrial process. That is why we are analyzing the data. What is the mathematical perspective? Data analytics is fundamentally based on the idea that data can be represented numerically, studied using mathematical functions, statistics, optimization methods. Data set is often represented as a matrix in X and Y rows. Okay. In rows and columns, data is often represented in the form of a matrix. Computer doesn't understand anything except a well-structured matrix. Okay. It is analyzing the trends, doing everything in binary language only, zeros and ones. Okay, that is why it is written that the data set is often represented as a matrix. Okay, n is the number of observations, which is rows, and t is number of columns. Meaning is each row corresponds to one data record. Each column corresponds to one measurable variable. Okay. Important matrix is important for data pre-processing, for statistical analysis, for machine learning algorithms, for optimization methods, for each and everything, you have to represent the data either in form of a matrix, which is in itself the CSV file itself. Okay. But pd.csv, pd.read CSV, which function which we have just used, it is converting the entire CSV file in the form of a matrix only, so that the particular data can be analyzed. Okay. That is- Data analytics workflow is like this. First of all, we carry out the data transformation. Data transformation means variable may be transformed from one domain to another domain, from original variable to a transformed variable, where fx is the transformation function. It can be logarithmic, it can be square root transform, it can be scalar transform. Modeling has to be done for input variables, which is capital X. Target output has to be framed, which is small y. Y equal to function of capital X, where X is the input variable, F is the model which we have formulated, and Y is the target or the output variable. Error estimation between the actual and predicted value is carried out as Y minus Y hat, where Y hat is the predicted value from the model, Y is the actual value from the data set. Error or the residual term is there, that is the difference between the actual value and the predicted value. And often we go for more. Errors are always added, they are never subtracted. Errors are always added, they are never subtracted. Remember, if I am getting one error as -1, another error as +1, another error is 0.5, you will never say that, sir, the cumulative error is 0.5. That will be wrong. Cumulative error will be 2.5, sum of errors. Okay. Errors are always added. They are never subtracted. Do remember. Because in one predicting one quantity, it is giving the magnitude as -1, but the error will be one only. Take the magnitude. Always when you are calculating the root mean square error, you are calculating mean absolute error. You are calculating absolute error. In all the errors, summation y I minus y I predicted hat, whole thing is in mod, then you are doing the square or anything divided by n. will give you the root mean square error. Root mean square error. And take the under root, you will get it. Under root. So please do remember, while calculating the error, always add and never subtract one. It is very, very important. Okay. This was regarding data transformation, modeling, and error estimation. Why are you carrying data transformation? This you write it down in the chat box. Why we are doing data transformation? Whether there is any purpose for data transformation? Why we are carrying it out? This is my question to you. Why step number one is carried out? You just write it down in the chat box. I'm just coming in 2 minutes. Question is clear. I shall write it down there also. Some of the people, if they are having any issue in the voice, then please write it down in the chat box. Why data transformation is carried out in data analytics. Explain in 50 words. And this is a 3 marks question, suppose. Then how you will answer it? Try to answer. Okay. Okay, let me quickly go through it. So, Anu Upadhyay is sent to do feature scaling. Okay, data transformation is carried out in data analysis to do feature scaling. Okay, good. But these are few words, too few words for a 50 words question. It's too few. Try to expand it in the examination. Okay, don't go like this. That what is your name? Then just write name. Okay, explain about yourself. Write down about your hobbies. Okay, where you belong, what you want to do in life. Explain like that. Okay. It's one of the purposes to do feature scaling. I am not saying it is incorrect. Okay. But please explain the things. When it is written, explain. Okay. When it is written that either take stand, okay, it is true or false in that type of question, right true, right false. Okay. But when it is written, explain, please explain. Okay. Convert raw data into clean data. Okay, somewhat more sophisticated. Good. Then we do transmission. We do transmission. It is transformation. Transmission is of electrical magnetic waves. Transmission. That is different. Please, in the examination, whatever you are writing, after writing, please see, check yourself. Whatever you wanted to write, you have written that, or you have written something else. Okay. Checking is very, very important. Okay. Sometimes you want to write X, we write Y, and the examiner understands Z. Okay. An examiner will always understand Z. I myself have checked the copies for last 4 years of various students from BTech to MTech to PhD also. I have gone through those copies, and I am telling you, it's a horrible experience. Okay, worst experience of my life. Okay, out of all academic experiences, teaching is the best experience. Okay, teaching to the students is the best experience till now, whatever I have seen. Okay, solving your doubts is the second best experience. Hands-on practice is one of the best experiences. Okay, taking labs is also a very good experience. Okay, but checking your test copies, maybe mid-semester examination, end semester examination, or in your college, if they are final exams or whatever the name of exam is, okay, to class test examination, any of the examination. So in academic life, okay, that is till what I have experienced. The worst experience is that only that you have to check the copies because I don't know what has happened to the students. Year wise, I have seen the degrading writing experience. Okay, means degradation is there in the vocabulary is another thing. Nowadays, what people are doing, they are writing everything in short form. Okay, so if they want to write expansion, here I am talking about IITs only. Okay. I'm not talking about, I am not criticizing any other college. I am only criticizing the students writing about in IITs, in IIT Kharagpur, what I have seen. If they want to write expansion, they will write like this. That's done. If they want to write a big word, what they will try to do, that confuse the examiner. Okay. This is the Sun Tzu war strategy which they have learned that confuse the examiner. He will himself understand that what I want to tell. So if I will teach in that format manner, then that will be equal for both of us. Okay. I will also tell one line in short form. Like here, if I want to say each stage of analytics workflow can be linked to mathematical operations. I will write each stage, then afterwards I will write make an arrow. And then I will write mathematical, I will write math. And operations I will write OP, and then above it I will place the subscript S, OPS. Okay. Now you understand. So that is what I am planning to implement. Okay, when I will become a full-fledged teacher, I will talk in your language only. Otherwise, the frustration will be from my side only. Okay, so that is why I am explaining you that please write, please read. Okay, please read before submitting your copies to the examiner. Okay, that he has to read. Your answers are not like that. You have written, you have folded the copies, and it goes to some alien species which understand all of the short forms in the universe. Okay. So that is not the case. The teacher who has taught you, he has to understand your words also and give you marks in the side. Okay. So this part you remember, you forget as a student. Okay, so whatever you are writing, if it is at all readable to you, okay, readable to you after the examination is over, okay, after 2 3 hours, when you are writing, you will be in a position to recall that's a EXP and means expansion. OPS means operations. OP also means operations. Okay. So if it is the case, then examiner will also understand. Otherwise, if it is a one-sided war, I'm not playing it. Okay. I will simply call the student. Okay, here what I do, I'll call the student and let him sit, and then I ask him that please read what you have written. Because first of all, the writing would be so interesting that it looks like it is not English, it is not Hindi, it is not mathematics. Okay. These three I understand, and it is none other than that. Means some for some of the students, the writing is worse than doctors themselves. Okay. They write in some alien language which I don't understand. First of all, work on your writing. Okay. Your writing should be readable. It is not like that you have forgotten writing, you will type everything. Your writing should be at least readable. If it is so poor, then practice writing in capital letters. Okay. Write your name. For example, this name is Hema. Okay. Write like this. Hema. Okay. It would be somewhat slower, but at least in whole of the sentence, if something is capitalized, I'll be able to handle it. Okay. At least I'll be able to read. That is why a name always is written in capital, so that I can understand to which student the copy belongs. These are some of the general things, okay, which you should take care in the examination. So, data transformation converts. Reading this answer. We do transmission. This would be transformation because in Python we have types of data list: dictionary, tuple, set, string, integer. Only numerical number comes, dictionary keys and their value, list and tuple have containers. That is why you are doing data transformation. Maybe one of the reasons. Not the primary reason, but maybe one of the reasons. I can accept it. No problem. Now, Gayatri has written to ensure consistency and efficiency. Okay. To check the effect data based on change of origin and scaling on set of data slash observations. Yes, this you should mention first. To check the effect of data based on the change of origin and scaling on the set of data and or observation. This you should mention first. After that, you should write to ensure consistency and efficiency and write down full sentences. Don't just give the answers, objective answers. If it is a subjective question, write down the subjective answers. Okay. Sir, exam is subjective or objective. Maybe it is a mix of both. As far as I know, please contact the NPTEL team. Okay. They would be in the position to tell you that whether it is objective or subjective. And in the admit card, if it is mentioned, it is well and good. But as far as I can see, I imagine it shall be a mix of both. Okay. Objective as well as subjective. As far as my knowledge is concerned. But do contact the NPTEL team. They shall be in the position because I already told you they have made the question paper. They shall be in a better position to tell you what shall be the pattern of the exam. Data transformation converts raw and heterogeneous data into clean and standardized format. See, that is the thing which I was talking about. Into clean and now this N will be so frustrating that in her entire copy she will not be writing A and D. Neither she will be making this symbol. She would be writing M. And now I have to understand. I have to decode well figures. So please, I understand that you are proper Gen Zs. I understand this. You are from Gen Z. You use a lot of short forms in your lingo. Okay. But try to understand, examiner is not from Gen Z. If you become professor, then you would be understanding the same language. But then the lingo will change to something else. You would be frustrated also. Okay. That is the exact thing. Write in clear words. Okay. Do some hard work in examination itself. Okay. Sincere request to you all. In the examination, do at least do some of the hard work. Whatever you want to convey in the standard language. Okay. Into clean and standardized format for analysis. This will be A and D. This will not be N. Okay. Nitha, please take care in the examination. It ensures data consistency across disparate sources. Sources spelling is wrong. Improves accuracy by removing errors or duplicates and structuralizes data for better performance. Answer is correct. You know the content. I am very satisfied with your answer. Most satisfied with your answer. But the thing is, please don't use any of the short forms in the examination. Okay. Because I am from my year of birth is 97. Okay, I am somewhat able to handle your short forms, but the examiner or the professor he shall not be from 90. onwards. Okay, he shall be somewhat older. Okay, he or she will be not understanding your short form lingo. I am continuously interacting with Gen Zs. That is why I am somewhat understanding that what they want to convey. Okay, but every time this leniency won't be there with you. Okay, that is why if it is an objective type of question, it is a subjective type of question. Always write down full sentences. Take time. There is no hurry. Okay. Yeah, this I have written, and this is a good answer. I encourage you for that. You know the content, but write it down full forms, no short forms. Then Anu Upadhyay has written that normalization brings everything between 0 and 1. Standardization centers data around 0. And scale by spread use normalization when data has no extreme outliers. Standardization used when data follows normal distribution. Everything you have written, but you have not written what I have asked. Okay, I have asked this particular question, why data transformation is carried out in data analytics, but you have covered everything, but not about standard answer. So see yourself some standard answers. I encourage this answer. Okay. This Nitha Babu's answer I encourage. Okay. It shall be a very good structured answer. I'm pasting it here. Yeah. Just in place of this N, I'll write A and D. Okay. That was the mistake which I found. This is a good answer. You can keep it. Okay. Your answer is correct. Your concepts are correct, Anu. But the thing is, whatever I am asking, you have to answer accordingly. Okay, whatever you know, if you are writing that in the examination, that won't help you. That will give you marks. Okay, that will give you half marks. That will give you 75 marks. That will give you 90% marks. 50 to 90, based on the examiner's opinion, it will range. But what I am telling you, you should get 100% marks. Okay, because you know the content, because you know that is why you have written normalization, standardization, each and everything. But the question was not regarding those. Okay. The question was regarding why do we perform the data transformation? Okay. So use those terminologies itself in your answer. That's why data transformation is carried out to do this thing. And whatever you write it down, you will write it down in that format manner. Okay. In our primary classes, we are taught like this, na? That if somebody asks you what is your name, then what how you will answer? My name is Anup Upadhyay. Okay. So like this, you have to answer in the examination. Okay. In the examination, use the same terminology. Like Nitha has done wonderfully with data transformation. What does it exactly do? It does this thing and that thing and how what the flow is. So write it down in this format manner. Then it would be a correct approach. It will give you high percentage of marks. Even in your college life with this NPTEL course and everywhere, remember. Okay. If it is asked to you, what is your name? Then always answer, my name is Nitha Babu, or my name is Gayatri, my name is Anupadhyay, or any of the name. Okay. Don't answer like this. What is your name? Then answering Gayatri. Okay, this Gen Z terminology, please do it with your friends, but not in the examination. In the examination, write it down. Okay, my name is MY. From MY, your answer should start. Why I am telling you? Because I am a sufferer. Okay. So I shall tell you my sufferings so that you will not suffer anybody else. Yes. That is why I am telling you. I shall tell you all my sufferings because I have checked all of the copies and I have just faced a lot of headache. Okay. Because first of all, I have to understand the answer. Then I know the exact answer. Okay. And now on the basis of the comparison, first of all, I have to decode. Okay. Decode what is written in the question. First of all, I have to check the question. Okay. I know the answer because I have created the question paper. That is why I know the answer. Okay. Now I am looking at your answers, then I am decoding your answer. Okay. Then I am recalculating what is the exact answer. Then I am calculating how much percentage of marks I have to give. Okay. So the more frustration you would provide in the examiner's head, less is the number of marks or percentage of marks he will be giving to you. Okay, because his energy is well spent in frustration. More readable your answer is, he or she will provide you marks with more easily, or more number of marks or more percentage of marks you would be getting, because because his energy is not spent in frustration. Okay, it's very easy to if the answer is very easy to read. Okay, if your handwriting is good, your sentence formation is good. Okay, then your answer is readable and understandable to a common person like me. Then I will give marks with my free hands. If it is a 2 marks question, I will give you 1.5 in any format manner. I will give you 1.75 to 1.9 to 1.95. And if it is excellent at par, I will give you 2 out of 2. No problem. Okay. But suppose at the same time, if you are asked with data transformation and you answer like this, like what is the purpose of data transformation? Convert raw data into clean data. Okay. Now it's somewhat more frustrating. Okay. Because you don't have written the answer in that format manner. That is why you should improve. You should try to communicate with the examiner. Okay. In any of the competitive exams also, if they are subjective at all, like UPSC is subjective. So more the frustration will grow in the examiner side, lesser is the number of marks you are getting. And more readable your language is, or more readable your answers is, higher is the percentage of marks you are getting. That is the simple. Okay. Any more comments? No comments. Yeah, you should make the correction, try to improve it. We all are learners. We commit mistakes and we learn from them. But we shall know that what our mistakes are. That is more than important. Okay. Yeah, let us move forward. We are moving too slowly, or I am moving too slowly, because whatever information is there in my head, I want to impart into you. Okay, that is my intent is, so that you pass this course with flying colors and you grow in your life to the maximum extent. Okay. That is the reason I am taking some time. Bear with me. Can't help it to it. Okay. Python basics required for analytics. Basics is BODMAS, bracket of division, then multiplication, then addition, then subtraction. That is how perform the operation. This is there in mathematics. But in Python, there is precedence of operators. Precedence of operators. Don't get inspired by this writing. If it is an offline class, okay, then you will be amazed by this writing. Okay, my handwriting is very neat. I am gladly telling you. Okay, you shall be in a position to read each and everything. But since I am using a stylus, that is why the writing is somewhat poor. That is why I am repeating. In Python, it is precedence of operators. Okay, what is precedence of operators? You just try to research about it. Okay, suppose a question is this, that z is 5 plus 3 minus 5 multiplied by 5. In mathematics, the answer would be different. In Python, it may or may not be different. Okay. And here I am also adding mod f. Now, if you will be solving this particular expression of z, you shall get different answers. You shall, may or may not get different answers from mathematics. Because in Python, there is precedence of operators in which form and manner the operations are carried out. In mathematics, it is simple word merging. What is precedence of operators? I'm not explaining here. By now, you shall be in the position to understand it. If you are having any difficulty, feel free to go through the precedence of operators table. You will find it very easily by just a Google search. Common mathematical operators are addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, power to the n. Logical conditions are there like this. If x is greater than c, classify the group as A, B, C, or any respective value. A, B, C, any respective value. That shall be the case. Logic is heavily used in classification and anomaly detection and decision trees based rule based systems, rule based analysis. The class logic is heavily used. That is the case. NumPy and pandas. NumPy is deeply connected with your linear algebra. All the fundamentals you must have covered in your basic classes. Okay. These are followed in NumPy. Vector representation is done like a feature is vector is written like this. X is the form and manner of x1, x2, x3, plus and so on to x7. Then matrix representation, a data set in matrix form, like X belongs to the relation R. Okay. R follows a relation size of n cross P. N is the number of samples. P is the number of features. Transpose in matrix operation. First of all, you have to represent the data in form of matrix. Then you will express the entire matrix as a relation. Then you will perform some of the basic operations like transpose, X transpose. Transpose means interchange the row and column. X transpose dot X multiplication operator. Okay, multiplication of X transpose and X. Must have gone through this in class 12. Okay, where everything is taught in great detail. Then dot product means multiplication, matrix multiplication. Okay, particular vector is there. Suppose I gave you two vectors like 1, 0, 0. Okay, and another vector 1, 0, 0. 1, 0, and 0. You know how to carry out the multiplication or matrix multiplication? How will you perform? If you are new to this, then first of all, you have to check for the sizes. This matrix is having how many number of rows? One number of rows. Okay. One row, three columns. Here, three rows, one column. If these two quantities, if first matrix is of the size m cross n, another is of size p cross q, then the primary condition is n should be equal to p. If n is not equal to p, then matrix multiplication is not possible. Resultant matrix would be of size m cross q. How will perform the multiplication? We will perform it row wise and column wise. Okay. This row will be multiplied with this particular column. Then another row will be multiplied by another column. Then row will be multiplied by column, and this is how we will perform the mat. We will form the matrix of size 1 cross 1. There will be only one row, one column, and that element will be how much? 1. How I did it? The resultant matrix would be like this after multiplication. Okay. After multiplication, the resultant matrix, suppose it is Z, it would be having only one element, that is 1. Because I multiplied this row with this particular column, 1 cross 1. 1 into 1 is 1. That's 0 multiplied by 0 is 0. 0 multiplied by 0 is 0. And you have to add the element that will result be 1. Similarly, we will be performing the dot payment. Okay. Operations are heavily used in regression principal component analysis, optimization in case of neural networks. Why Python is used for data analytics? Python is widely used in data analytics because it is simple, readable, open source, rich in libraries, powerful for data analytics and visualization, suitable for beginners and professionals. Why NumPy? NumPy is for numerical computing, Pandas is for data handling, Matplotlib is for plotting, Seaborn is for statistical visualization, Scikit-learn is for machine learning, SciPy is for scientific computing. This will try to keep it in your brain. Where you will use which particular library. And many a times in real world problems, all are used at once. All are imported in one single line. Typical data analytics workflow, data collection, data cleaning, data transformation, EDA, exploratory data analysis. It involves various steps. I'll be explaining those in brief. The visualization of the data, then model building, then interpretation, and decision making. That is the workflow. Key insight is a good analytics project is not only about coding, also about understanding the data, drawing very valid conclusions from the data set. Valid. The conclusions should be valid. They should be based on the data. That is the Python foundations. They are covered. Okay. Before analytics, Python basics are essential. They are variable and data types. Then list, tuples, dictionaries we have covered in brief. Loops, conditional statements, functions, file handling, basic plotting and scripting. That is what we have covered. Basics are reusable, they are efficient, they make the code analysis easy. NumPy is the foundation, first library. It involves arrays, matrices, mathematical operations, indexing, slicing, vectorized computation, and it is much faster in as compared to Python based NumPy. Traditional Python list, if you will perform, it will take much data and the computational complexity will be higher. Usage in data storage and matrix calculations, in statistical computations, in mathematical modeling, usage is always there. Pandas is again one of the most important libraries for data analysis. It involves series. Series are nothing but one dimension labeled data. Data frame is two dimensional or the tabular data. Common operations which are involve reading the CSV or the Excel file, viewing and summarizing the data set, filtering the rows and columns, handling the missing values, replacing them by not a number value, NaN, or you can replace it by zero. That is what we do with handling missing values. Grouping and aggregation. Grouping and aggregation in form of rows and columns. Merging and joining data sets. If there are two data sets A and B, they can be even joined. A union B, A intersection B, both the operations can be done very easily. Pandas simplifies the real world data process. Data cleaning, data cleaning. Real world data is often incomplete, inconsistent, it is only even noisy. Common data issues are missing values, duplicate records, outliers, incorrect data types, inconsistent labels, irrelevant features. This can be the problems with the real world data. How you will perform the pre-processing by imputation. Very, very important term, imputation. Replacing the missing values with the either seeing the previous values and performing an exploratory data analysis, seeing the trend, and then then replacing those missing values by the exploratory values, which we have calculated by the watching the trend. Okay. Then encoding the categorical features, then featuring the feature scaling, either through normalization, either through standardization, you can perform it. Pre-processing techniques. Why does it matter? Because clean data leads to more reliable analysis and better model performance. Okay. Performing the clean data, it is same analogy you can do from the examination perspective also. I already told you. Cleaner is the handwriting, lesser is the short form which are used in the answer, then better is the readability, better is the human performance in evaluation, better is the score which you are getting. So similar to that, cleaner is the data, more reliable is the analysis, better is the model performance. Data cleaning and pre-processing. What is the mathematical perspective? For handling the missing values, suppose the missing value, sometimes it is, or in general, it is replaced with mean. Mean you already know, sum of all observations divided by total number of observations. Standardization, converting the variables to a common scale. Okay, common scale, which is nothing but x minus mu divided by sigma. You standardize it, converting all the variables to a common scale, which is the standardized scale. Do it by performing this particular operation, x minus mu divided by sigma. X is the original value, mu is the mean, sigma is the standard deviation. For minimum maximum normalization, you use the scale values between 0 and 1. That is x minus x max minimum divided by x maximum minus x min. Transformations are very, very important into machine learning, as well as algorithms are sensitive when scaled to data distribution. In EDA, you already know the mean. You go for variance. Variance is nothing but uh, sigma square, that is 1 upon n summation xi minus mu whole square, and you do this summation from I equal to 1 to I equal to n for all the values. Standard deviation is nothing but variance under 2D, or variance is nothing but square of standard deviation. Variance is represented by sigma square. Okay. The standard deviation is represented by sigma, which is under root of variance. Pearson correlation coefficient you can calculate. R is summation xi minus x bar yi minus y bar divided by under root of xi minus x bar whole square yi minus y bar whole square. If R is 1, then there is a perfect positive correlation. R is minus 1, there is perfect negative correlation. If R is 0, then there is no linear correlation. Very, very important identifying relationship among variables. Mean you already know, median you know the median value when data is arranged in either ascending or descending order. So, mode you know the value which is most frequently used. Probability is nothing but favorable outcomes divided by total number of outcomes. Conditional probability is given by like this: P, A, and B divided by P. As your uncertainty modeling in the case of your Bayesian modeling, Bayesian regression, Bayesian probabilistic regression, based on your predictive inference, and risk analysis is the later. In case of your EDA, you can go for summary statistics for your distribution analysis, for your correlation analysis, for your outlier detection, for your pattern discovery. Everything you can go in your EDAs. Exploratory data analysis. Questions are: what does data look like? Are there any trends? Are there anomalies? Anomalies means missing values. Missing values. Which variables are important for consideration in your EDA, exploratory data analysis? Are the variables related? Means there exists any relation between the variables x, y, z, w or not? That is the thing. In case of a descriptive statistics, measures of central tendency. Measures of central tendency. There is a mean, there is a median, there is a minimum. Okay, these are the measures of central tendency. Or measures of dispersion include range, that is x maximum minus x minimum, highest value minus the lowest value, that is the range. Variance already I told you, standard deviation already told you, IQR already covered. Third quarter. First quartile Q1, Q2, Q3. These are the measures which help in understanding the data behavior and the data variability. Data visualization is generally carried out using bar charts, line charts, histogram, box plot, scatter plot, pie chart, heat map. Already covered. Codes are already given. Please run them. Please see the plots and clear your options. Libraries used Matplotlib and CLON already provided both of them. Much in great detail. Benefits are it reveals the patterns quickly. Yeah, visually you are more stimulated by the data. Okay, you can see the data and explore various trends in the data very easily. Helps in comparing the variables and supporting the business and research decisions. Yes, it is there. Already told you. In this session also provide. Techniques are there. For example, histogram is there. Okay. It approximates the frequency distribution of the variable. If X variable is there, it is grouped into bins. And the histogram will represent the frequency in the interval. The scatter plot will organize the data into various ordered pairs, okay, xi and yi's. Helpful in case of observation of your linear patterns and non-linear patterns, whether there is a clustering and whether there are outliers, all ways you can see with the help of a scatter plot. Okay, you can plot in MS Excel also, you can plot in Python also, code is also with you. Okay. So please be very thorough with that. Okay. Box plot, what is it is based on three things. Minimum value, maximum value, first median value. All three are represented by the lines. Okay. And first one is your Q1 and second one is your Q2. That is your first quartile and third quartile. These are the different lines which are represented in your box plot. I've already told you about violent plots also. So go through my notes. Interquartile range is nothing but Q3 minus Q1. Third quartile value minus first quartile value. Also, you often use to detect the outliers. Whatever the value will be falling outside, they will be set as outliers. Machine learning basics, if you want to learn through them, general modeling already we have covered. Okay. Of the form y equal to fx plus epsilon, x is the input features, y is the output. Fx is the underlying pattern or the noise, epsilon is the random error. Goal of machine learning is estimate the function y head as fx f hat hat. That is the goal of general machine learning. Optimization objective is most machine learning algorithms try to minimize the error function, that is minimization of the error or the loss function. Loss function often it is carried out as error function only. Okay. As this error function yi minus y bar. Often it is there. But in machine learning, sometimes loss function separately is also defined. Various loss functions are there. For linear regression, for multiple linear regression, various loss functions as well as optimizer functions are there. Okay. That will be sooner or later covered to you. You will be taught then much greater there. I hope that. Next, you try to see regression. Basic regression already we have covered. Regression models the relationship between one input and one output variable. Okay. That is y is equal to beta 0 plus beta 1 x plus epsilon, where beta 0 is the intercept, beta 1 is the slope, epsilon is the error term. Prediction equation is nothing but a beta 0 means intercept plus slope plus multiplied by independent variable. Okay. So beta 0 when value of y when x is 0. When x is 0, y will be equal to beta 0. Beta 1 is the expected change in y. Okay. Expected change in y for one unit or increase in x. Okay. Expected change in y for one unit increase in x. Okay. That is what it is. Take two equations, then eliminate beta 0, and then whatever you will getting in the equation of beta 1, that will suffice. Beta 1 will be nothing but y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x2. Okay. Error estimation would be nothing but summation of all the errors yi's minus what is the predicted value y head whole square. You do sum. If you want to calculate SSE, then you do this like this. Least square estimation, if you want to do, go with that. If you want to calculate the root mean square error, you perform this operation. Take under root divided by. Next is classification. For binary classification, there is the target variables take discrete values such as y is belonging to the range 0 and 1. In case of your logistic regression, instead of predicting a direct number, logistic regression predicts the probability of y when event 1 is happening, after that event x will happen. If that is the probability that has to be calculated, it is nothing but 1 upon 1 plus e to the power minus c. Z is governed by this particular cost value in case of logistic regression. And the decision rule is when the probability of happening of event 1, okay, in conjunction with the event x is greater than 0.5, then you classify it as a sure event class 1, otherwise you classify it as class 0. Okay. Very, very important in medical diagnosis, spam filtering, fraud detection, class fail prediction. Then correlation and relationships. Studying relationships in data, understanding how variables are related is a very important part in data analytics. There might be a positive correlation, negative correlation, no correlation, or correlation coefficient. Each and every value is there. Tools which are used are scatter plots, correlation matrix, heat maps. So correlation matrix is there that you can also calculate. Okay, heat maps are also there. The scatter plots are also there that you can do. It helps in identifying influential variables as well as the dependencies. Okay. Probabilistic and statistical inference also you can calculate on the basis of exploratory meta analysis. Probability basics we have covered here, conditional probability questions we have solved. Sampling we have done, hypothesis testing, various tests like t-test, chi-square test, okay, z-test, f-test, we have performed. Confidence intervals we have taken, then statistical inference significance we have seen. Confidence intervals means alpha values we have done, we have calculated, we have varied it, tried to see that what is the level of, for what level of significance we are getting, whether we are able to accept the null hypothesis, reject the null hypothesis, as well as what is the variation. Okay. Application is there in comparison groups, in testing the assumptions, in drawing conclusions from the samples. Key takeaway is this one only: data analytics is neither computational, neither statistical, it is a mix of both. Okay. Then machine learning allows the systems to learn patterns from data and make the predictions. It is allowing you to calculate the system parameters and learning the patterns from the data and making the predictions. Main types is supervised learning. In case of your supervised learning, you are given the data. And you do the division of the data means into three categories. First category, you will take 70% of the data as training. 20% of the data you will be keeping for testing, and 10% of the data you will be going for validation. This is the three categories: 70, then 20, then testing. This encompasses your supervised learning, in which learning or data training is carried out with the help of data. That is your supervised learning. In case of your unsupervised learning, your learning is carried out without the help of data. Okay, some pattern fitting is done or some relationships are derived based on EDA, exploratory data analysis, and on the basis of that, the data fitting is done, and whatever the values are there, we assume that the data would be following this particular hypothesis, and we are uh, drawing conclusions on the basis of this hypothesis only. We need not to account for the future data as well as the past data. That is your unsupervised learning. For example, in case of your predicting house prices, customer segmentation, spam detection, and disease detection. Now, my question is to you all. I'll write the question answer. And then you can answer. In case of a given data set with the help of exploratory data analysis, or without using EDA, that is nothing but your exploratory data analysis, predict in which case the accuracy of models is higher. They say EDA done means exploratory data analysis is done. You are using supervised learning. Case B, EDA done unsupervised learning. Case C, EDA not done. Supervised learning. Case D, EDA not done. Unsupervised learning. Give the order of model accuracies with proper reason. Try to answer. At the end, I will discuss. Okay. Write it down completely. Give the order of model accuracies, case accuracies, not model, case accuracies. In which case, what shall be the order? Okay. Give the order of case accuracies along with proper reasoning. Why do you feel that particular order will like this? Write one side. And at the end, we will discuss. Now you try to see machine learning in data analytics. Machine learning allows the systems to learn patterns from data and make predictions. ML transforms the data into predictive intelligence. Intelligence is nothing but machine learning patterns. In regression analysis, you will have to predict the numerical outcomes. It is used when the output variable is a continuous variable. Continuous variable. Examples in predicting salary, predicting the crop yields, predicting the temperature, predicting the sales. Common algorithms are linear regression, then NAC, RMSC, and square score are generally the evaluation matrices. Case of classification, it is often used when the output belongs to categories. For example, pass or fail, spam or not spam, disease or no disease, fraud or not fraud. Common algorithms are used which are logistic regression, decision tree, then k nearest neighbor, then support vector machine. Valuation metrics are accuracy, precision with all levels for that. Then logistic regression, in the case of the logistic regression purposes, just for binary classification. Output belongs to this two categories. Formula already I have told you. Many of the terms already I have explained you. Decision rule also we have covered. In case of tree, okay, decision tree will try to split the data by splitting it into branches or based on the conditions. Mathematical idea is decision trees choose the best split using the entropy of Gini entries. Entropy formula is like this. Entropy is nothing but summation of I equal to 1 to C. C is the number of classes, product of Pi multiplied by log base to Pi. Okay, where S is the entire data set, C is the number of classes, Pi is the probability of class I happening of class I. The probability of that particular class multiplied by base log 2 into Pi. Multiplied by log base 2 and Pi is a function. That is your entropy, and there will be always a negative sign along with the summation. For all the categories, I equal to 1 C. Higher is the entropy, more is the disorder. Lower is the entropy, more is pure is the scheme. Information gain is nothing but entropy of the parent minus entropy of child divided by parent multiplied by entropy of the child. Okay. Interpretation is split with maximum information gain is chosen. Maximum IC value will be chosen. Gini index is nothing but 1 minus summation I equal to 1 to C square. Lower Gini index, better the square. Pure nodes have an index of 0. And the decision tree regressor will work by recursively splitting the data to reduce the error. In case of your k nearest neighbor algorithm, the KNN will classify a new point based on the majority class among its nearest neighbors. Main formula is Euclidean distance or the distance between 2 points. 2 point formula. Compute the distance, a new point, to all the telling points, select the new nearest neighbor, and assign the class in the maximum number of rows. KNN will classify the data based on the similarity, and the similarity is measured using the distance. In case of your support vector machine, SVM will find the best separating boundary or hyperplane between the classes. Hyperplane equation is this one. Weight vector transpose multiplied by x, that is the input feature vector plus d. D is the bias star equal to. Classification rule is somewhat like this. Sine function of this particular function, hyperplaying function. Then SVM tries to maximize the margin between two particular classes, and the margin is nothing but 2 divided by weight in modules. Then SVM choose the decision boundaries that separate the classes with the maximum possible margin. Evaluation matrix is nothing but the confusion matrix. Confusion matrix S evaluates true positive, false negative, false positive, true negative. This is the column of positive, predicted negative, actual positive, and actual negative. Okay. True positive, true negative, false negative. What is true positive? Correctly predicted positive. What is true negative? Correctly predicted negative. What is false positive? Incorrectly predicted positive. What is false negative? It is incorrectly predicted negative. Confusion matrix is the foundation for calculating all the confusion evaluation matrices. Accuracy is nothing but true positive plus true negative divided by all the values. True positive, true negative, false positive, false negative. Accuracy measures the proportion of total correct predictions. And interpretation is higher the accuracy means the model is making more correct classifications overall. Precision is true positive divided by true positive plus false positive. It measures how many predicted positive values, predicted positives are actually positive. Higher the precision means lower is the false alarms. Important in your spam classification, spam detection, fraud detection, disease detection. And the answers are out of all predicted positives, how many were truly positive? That is the question which is it is answering. Recall is true positive plus false negative. F1 score is 2 multiplied by precision plus score divided by this one plus. Okay. And various things are there. What is the actual meaning? You can read here. Recall measures how many actual positives were currently identified. Okay. And F1 score will try to it is the harmonic mean of the precision and recall, and it is used when we want a balance between false positives and false negatives. Clustering is an unsupervised learning technique used to group similar type of data points, and its purpose is to discover natural groupings in the data. Common algorithm is k-means clustering. Applications are customer segmentation, image grouping, market-based analysis, pattern recognition, algorithms. Key idea is data points in the same cluster are more similar to each other than those particular clusters. Clustering, what is the mathematical purpose perspective? K means groups the data points into k clusters by minimizing within the cluster values. Objective function is this particular one. Summation j equal to 1 to k for x and the summation of xi for all the clusters and the intercluster distance as well as the intercluster distance as well as the distance of the cluster in the centroid both will be minimized. Centroid you can calculate using this particular formula for beta function you calculate this particular formula and you always go for minimization for maximization. Okay. Model evaluation is always done to measure the performance, avoid overfitting, compare models, ensure generalization. Well, evaluation methods include train test split, cross validation, confusion matrix, error matrices. Good model is not just accurate on training data, it must be accurate on unseen data. That is testing data as well as the validation data. Okay. Real world applications of Python include healthcare, agriculture, finance, retail, education, industry, wherever you want to apply. You can apply those skills which you have gained from this particular course on data analytics with Python. This is the summary of the course which I can present to you brief. In 2 hours, I try to explain you this course in brief, what are the concepts we have covered, and I try to summarize all the points. Thank you all for joining the session. And do join the last session, week that is week 12 of the coming Tuesday. Okay. This is it from my side. If you are having any query, feel free to ask. Okay, feel free to ask. I'll try to answer to my best level. And sorry if I have taken 15 minutes more in comparison to the allotted time. I had been allotted 3 to 5, but sorry, since it was a lot theoretical concepts I had covered, so I have taken 15 more minutes. Okay. And since it's an online class, that is why I have extended. Otherwise, I would have continued in the next possible case. And wish you all the very best from my side from exam for the exams. Perform well, revise well. Revision is the key to the success. Study well. Don't get stressed in the examination. Okay. And thank you all for joining the session. If you are having any doubt, then you can stay. You can ask me. I'll be there for 5 more minutes, 5, 10 more minutes. Otherwise, I'll also leave. Okay. And thank you very much for joining the session. Let us discuss this particular question. Okay. And all the very best for the examination. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Regarding this question, you are answering. Bhavna Shah has answered case B, but the question which I asked is give the order of case accuracies with proper reasoning. Proper reasoning is mentioned. Is missing here. Please, in the examination, Bhavna Shah, take care. Read the question, answer accordingly. Okay. For Tanurani, order is present, reasoning is absent. Similar advice for her. Case A is greater than case C, is greater than case B, is greater than case D. Okay. That shall be a pattern. Okay. Anu Upadhyay has written case A because in supervised learning it does using labeled data. Correct answers are known. In supervised learning uses target values. Error can be minimized and predict pass or fail shall have clear objective. Good. You are partially correct. You have mentioned the correct order. You have mentioned the correct case. That is correct. But there is no order. You have mentioned reason also. So part wise you have given order. Part wise, partly you have given the order. And partly you have given the reasoning. Missed both of them in the examination. And in the examination, this type of question is asked, then please answer it clearly. Then Nita has written the highest accuracy would be achieved by case case. Okay. Nita, if you want to ask anything, please unmute yourself and ask. There is no delay you should perform. You have raised your hand, that is why I am asking you. You are having any
Sir,
doubt?
I want to.
Yes, ask.
Hello. Good evening, sir. I want to know regarding
The,
any mail ID or any group of NPLT team which I
okay.
can ask question bank or related to
Oh,
exam.
yeah. Related
Any
to
mail.
exam. Yeah. See here, there are two Google collabs. Okay. Google groups. You receive,
Okay.
see, in this mail only they have embedded. Send an email to this. Okay. noc26-cs86 now. So this one you can use. Okay. This is for unsubscribing. If you are viewing this discussion, then just visit this second link. I just click this particular link, and this is the Google group where you can ask any of your doubts. Reply all, forward, then conversation, then start a conversation. Every facility is there. This is the entire Google group which they have created where you can ask. And any,
Okay. Thank you,
okay,
sir.
okay, anywhere they will be, I think, receiving the notification, they will be answering. If you want to ask anything then personally to me, then go ahead with this email ID. Okay. Whatever. Yeah. There was when Nitha has written the highest accuracy would be achieved by cases. Good, but in the examination give reasons also. Model accuracy is higher in supervised learning because it is trained on labeled data with known outputs, good, where unsupervised learning does not use labels and therefore does not have a direct measure of accuracy. Very good. Answer is correct. Reasoning is correct, but order is missing. Please write order. Whatever is asked in the question, answer accordingly. Okay. But I will tell you the answer. I will not leave it unanswered. Okay. Listen to my answer. Then make your answer in the examination. Case A will be having the highest accuracy as compared to case B, then case C, then case D. Okay. Why so? In case A, all the features which increase the accuracy of prediction or of any model are present. Exploratory data analysis, if you will carry out, okay, you will be observing the trends and patterns in the data. On the basis of that, you will be first of all eliminating the outliers. It will increase the accuracy. Then another feature of exploratory data analysis is trend analysis. Okay. Trend analysis will itself give you the idea which particular model you have to apply. Those two features will increase the model accuracy genuinely through multiple fold times. Then in supervised learning, yes, outputs are present as well as the data is present. So it will lead to highest accuracy. In case B, EDA was done, outliers were removed, and the model fitting was done with a caution which model we have to apply. That is why it would be having sufficiently good accuracy, but it is an unsupervised learning. Okay. So data won't be present there. Okay. It would be missing some dissimilar type of data or the missing data would be there and it won't help us to create such highest accurate model. Okay. So it would be next. Now in case C, EDA was not done, but supervised learning was done. Okay. EDA was not done, but supervised learning was done. By default, if the original data set is used, so there is a possibility that the model accuracy is somewhat higher. There is a possibility because data is every time present if any of the model can directly learn from the data which is gathered from the sensors. Least accuracy will be obtained in this particular case when EDA was also not done, and it is an example of unsupervised learning. Okay, EDA was not done, means outliers were also not removed, model selection was also poor, and in fact, unsupervised learning means accurate data was not provided to the model during the testing, whereas other techniques were used. Okay, means data was not sufficient to train the model. That is the thing. So least R square coefficient of determination, highest RMSE you can expect in case. These all the things along with the order you have to write it down in words, in your own words, not in short forms. Nobody will use the short form in the examination. That is the thing. Okay. Then you will pass this course with flying colors. All the very best. If you are having any doubt, then feel free to ask. Do attend the last lecture on this coming Tuesday, that is 14th of April. That's it from my side. And in case of any doubts, feel free to ask. The rest you can kindly leave. Okay. And uh, thank you all for joining that session. Okay. And have a good day. That's it. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. The recorded videos and notes will be very helpful. Thank you so much. You have three for such comment. Thank you so much for joining the session. Thank you. Okay, thank you all. No such queries are there. I'll end the session for you all, guys. Okay, you have not received the hall ticket. Please contact the NPTEL team. Okay, they shall be in the position to answer your doubts. When you will be getting. I think mail will come. I think there is no mail regarding hall tickets released. Yeah, mail will come. Then only hall tickets will be released to all of the participants of the examination, all of the students at once. I think it will be released at once for all of the students. Okay. So you haven't received, no problem. You shall receive it soon. Thank you. No doubt is there. I shall end for you always. Thank you so much. Bye. Have a good day.